Hello, thank you for joining me. Today we are in the ropery at Chatham Dockyard. This is really quite an amazing building. It's a quarter of a mile long. It really stretches as far as you can see that way. And the reason this building needs to be so long is to make the very long ropes. So one thing you'll see, which is quite unusual to see inside buildings, is all these bicycles here, because the people who work here, they need to use a bicycle to go up and down, because it would just take such a long time to walk up and down because the building is a quarter of a mile long. Unfortunately, I haven't got a bicycle, so I'm going to walk, but I'll be able to show you some of the things along the way. So if you look through there, you can see all the smaller strands of rope. They are put through these machines here. You can see them all coming together, and they come out as thicker strands of rope. And then this machine here is what I believe this one is stationary. Yeah, this is stationary, and you can see the ropes hooked on the end. There's a travelling machine which runs along what I suppose you could call a type of railway line. You're not going to get a ride on it though. This here, that's a railway line, and there's a machine that travels along and it turns, twisting the rope into what we know as rope. So you get rope. So here we are, these are some strands before. So the smallest rope you see over there, they've been turned into this stuff here, and then this is what goes on the machine there, and then that is turned by a travelling machine right from the other end up there to make rope. Let's see if we can find some finished rope. So it's really, like I said, it's an amazing place. So there's all the rope stretched out, or the strands of rope. You can see the smaller strands over there, which are put through those machines to make into this stuff. So there's the end of the machine just there. So you've got these guides all the way along. We're now going to walk along the building, and I'm going to show you some more of how the rope is made. So there's another bicycle there, because the people who worked here, they had to use a bicycle to travel up and down, because it is, it's amazing, this building, just how long it is. Well, a quarter of a mile long. There's not many buildings that would have an indoor open space a quarter of a mile long. I just think there's, very few. So you can see there's bits of rope hanging everywhere, and they even use some of their finished rope to help make rope. Don't ask me how they started when they had no rope, but anyway. So there's another track over the other side. So you can see these here, these hold the rope. So there's some over there with no rope on. These ones are holding the rope. Now I don't know if you can see over at the other side of the wall, there's some very, very thick rope. So that's what potentially these strands will be once they've been made into rope. Like, see that pile of it there? Just how big that rope is, the stuff directly below the fire exit sign. So I'm going to keep walking along the ropery, and we will further up here. I'm going to walk a bit faster now, because I've shown you most of what I wanted to show you. We will be able to see the travelling machine with the hooks, which I believe as it turns around, it makes these strands into the strong rope we know. So as I said, I'm at Chatham Dockyard. It's quite busy outside, so I'm probably not going to do many other videos, if any, but I will post some pictures. They're having a steam and transport festival on, so there's lots of tracks and engines, classic cars. There's a steam locomotive called Ajax and a diesel locomotive called Rochester Castle working a demonstration goods train, typical of what you're seeing along the docks. So there's some quite interesting stuff to see. It really is worth a visit, but it's quite crowded outside, so that's why I wanted to make a video here today. That's why I chose to make it in here, where there's less people around. So still walking along here. You can see another one of these trestles which holds the rope, and quite soon when we get to the other end we will be able to see the machine I was telling you about. It's quite interesting here actually. If you look, there's all sorts of ropes of different colours, some's multicoloured. So with the multicoloured ropes, I imagine when it's been stretched out like this, they have the different colour strands, and then they're turned round to make the multicoloured ropes. So I'm going to keep going. It's I said, I wonder, this may be the longest Henry's Adventures video, not necessarily in time, but in distance walk. I will have, by the time I finish this video, I will have walked a quarter of a mile. So just give you an idea how big the site is. This is one building. I should think the whole site of the Chatham Dockyard is approximately a mile, maybe a bit more, from one end to the other. It's situated on the River Medway. There's another bicycle for the people who would work here. They would ride that up and down because, as I said, it's quite a long way. What I'll do here, I'm going to take you outside and let you see, just to give you an idea. It's very bright. So these are what the buildings look like outside. Looking, so we've come from there, looking down that way. You can hear the live music, which is very good, but that's another reason why I wasn't doing any videos outside, because you may not have been able to have heard me. So I thought I'd come in here. There's some. Look at this. This is what this rope could potentially be made into. This is really. See how big my hand is. You can see how huge and strong that piece of rope is. So we're now coming towards the other end. Now, as I said about it being a kind of a railway line, there's this machine here, which I'm not entirely sure what it is, but as you can see, it's got wheels. It travels on the rails. That's not the one I told you about that turns round. There's another one of them, of the ones that turn round over there, but we're going to have a look at the one closer. So if anyone knows what this one does, this is where you're invited to comment and tell me. I'll be very pleased to hear from you. So the machine I said about that travels up and down is this one here. So there you go. This is the other end. So somehow, I'm not entirely sure how, but maybe the hooks don't turn, but something must be travelling which turns these strands of rope into rope. Because I was thinking that term, but it's clear that it doesn't. So again, if you want to add, if anyone wants to help me there, do feel free to comment, and I'll be pleased to hear from you. So we're now coming to the end of the building.